All right, Trendsetter High Spot Podcast here in Richfield Park, New Jersey. Innovative Pro Wrestling, one in the chambers in the books, and man, there's so many matches that stole the show, but that main event was...
No, Jeff, there's only one match that stole the show. I'm going to cut you off right there because what you're talking about is completely irrelevant now. There's only one match that stole the show. The only one match that everybody was looking forward to is this match with this man right here, JT Dunn.
You guys are far too kind, man.
Man,
I miss New Jersey.
I'm just speaking the truth here, honestly.
appreciate that.
Jeff and I have been huge fans of yours ever since the beginning we had you on the show. And to see you in there performing, doing your thing, and seeing how much you join and love it, it was an honor for us. So thank you for that.
I appreciate that. I mean, I'm glad that was easily conveyed to the audience, man. I love what I do. I love wrestling guys like Shane, one of the best in the world, the entire world. And to come here, Richfield Park, a building, I got a lot of history here. But I feel like that's in the past, and we're on to new things. And here with IPW, their debut show, there's only one main event you can have, and it has to feature the JT Dunn. And tonight, I was feeling it. I mean, the musics were great. All night long's banging in the speakers.
Exactly.
Shaka Khan.
You actually put me down with Shane afterwards.
He did, actually.
I was feeling it, man.
I was like, wow, JT's feeling the music here.
It's a catchy song.
It really is.
It's
It
Memorial Day
really
weekend,
is.
and we're all
It's a celebration, man. Like I said, I'm happy I get to go home early tonight.
Yeah,
I'm going to be home before midnight. This is a big day.
What does JT do when he goes home after a wrestling match?
I hang with my cat, and I play Fortnite.
Yeah? There you go.
That's my life.
Yeah.
A little bit of it.
Yeah. So when they tell you that you're going to take on Shane Strickland, what the competitive juices must be flowing.
Absolutely.
There, right?
Immediately.
Yeah, and you're like, whoa. And then, how much thought do you put into this match, like when you take on Shane too? Because obviously you guys have tore it up the last few years, especially Shane too, the MLW now the MLW champion too, and like you had a tremendous send off to Shane here afterwards. And how heartfelt is that? What has Shane meant to you in your career?
Shane is a very important person to me, and I think it took a lot of time when I get injured and I tore my hamstring at the end of last year. I had a lot of time to sit home and reflect and just start paying attention to the details and remember where I came from and the people who were responsible for the growth of my career. And I really never touched on the aspect that Shane played, but he was very vital to it. I was stuck in New England. I was wrestling the who's who of wrestling, but I was in a little bubble, and I needed to burst out, and nobody would take a chance on me. And that's the hardest part in wrestling, is to get somebody to be like, okay, we're going to invest into you. And Shane went to a bunch of people, and he got people to bite on me, and I have not looked back since. And I've been on a mission to be the best in the world. And it's taken me a long time, 10 years now in pro wrestling, various amount of injuries and setbacks and life struggles. But I feel like in the end, that's going to make my journey and my story a little bit better. And Shane plays a very important part. So coming here, especially this building, with a fan base is absolutely just salivating over death by elbow, it makes it that much more special. And for a debut show to be the featured match on a show that has Woods, Teddy Hart, Zachary Wentz, Jessica Havoc's here, that's pretty incredible, man. Dan Moff is here. Rich Swann showed up. I take a lot of pride in that, man. It's more than being a main event. I get to be an example for those who follow me, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you talked about the length of time you've been doing this, and sometimes for some people it might feel that way. Sometimes it might feel like it went in the blink of an eye. With your injury now, when you dealt with it, your recent injury, and then coming back from it, do you feel now mentally you're at a stage where you can kind of maybe enjoy the ride a little bit more, rather than worrying so much about, last time we spoke to you, it's about, what's next? I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. So maybe you didn't enjoy it as much as that point right now.
Before, it felt like work.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kind of led into the injury, was just work. My schedule was full. I just felt like I had to do what everybody else was doing, and I needed to stay busy or I wasn't over enough. I needed to make a certain amount of money every month or I wasn't doing it. Now I'm at the point where I'm just like, but I don't give a F. I don't care. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to do things the way I wanted to. And that's kind of how I began my career. And that, like I said earlier, that got me into a little bit of trouble. But now I'm a little bit wiser. I know what to say, what not to say. So that puts me in a better position. Now I just want to enjoy my life. And wrestling, it's a major part of my life, but it's not everything for me. It doesn't define me. It doesn't describe my daily activities. There's a lot more that I want to do, and I think that now the injury led me to be able to sit home and game plan and put things together. And I had 3 months to just pretty much sit in isolation in Providence. Ain't nobody else live in Providence, just me, for wrestling-wise. So,
your cat was there with you.
My cat was there. Yeah, my cat's a godsend, man. I love that little thing. But it allowed me to just start venturing out into different avenues. I started doing some photography work. I started doing work at acting, script stuff, running wrestling companies. I want to get my hands in everything possible, man. I love to learn. Knowledge is power, man, and that's the thing that I've began to learn. It's not about what I can do with my body. It's not about my physical limitations. It's mental, man. It's always going to be mental. And if mental, I'm at a higher capacity than others, that's success for me.
One final one for me is you said dabbing in everything, and a lot of wrestlers now are dabbing in everything. Like, for example, Cody Rhodes is a perfect example. He's dabbing in being a promoter and now doing this all-in stuff. What do you think the state of the business is for independent wrestling right now?
Better than ever. Better than ever. Hearts. We're giving hearts to people. I think it's great.
And smiles.
Yeah, lots of smiles, man. I'm smiling all day today.
Exactly.
Richie Swann's here. That's why I'm smiling. I think wrestling is great because now wrestling isn't defined by pro wrestling. It's defined by whatever the hell you want it to be. If you want to be a promoter and be successful at that, there's now an avenue. If you want to sell T-shirts for a living, there's an avenue for that. If you want to just run shows, like that's a thing. If you want to be a pro wrestler part-time, that's a thing. If you want to be a wrestler full-time, that's a thing. You don't need a major contract, and I think that's game-changing. Guys like Cody and the Young Bucks being able to transcend that and open the doors and the avenues, and then for guys like Joey Ryan to get a part of that, and then even having guys like Chris Jericho come from one universe and come to the other and show that the leap is possible and success is attainable there. Like, the more people that keep doing that, it's going to open more doors for the next generation.
Yeah. Does it make you feel like, give you a little pep in your step when you see them do that? And you're like, hey, I can do this thing too, man. I can do.
Yeah.
Even you promote Strong Style brand.
Yes.
Right. So that's another thing that you're venturing out to. So
I represent Strong Style brand. It's not mine.
Strong Style. Okay. Well, you're.
That's not mine.
but you're.
Frankie Screams. That's all him, man. He's the evil genius behind it.
Yeah.
That's another guy. I'll give him props right now. Frankie is the madman behind all my creativity, my videos, my promos, the Relentless documentary series on YouTube. Like, he is a mastermind, and being able to share my story through his vision is something I'm very much appreciative of. And like we were talking about expanding pro wrestling, Frankie is a guy who came from the band scene. He traveled, he was a part of a band, signed to a label, and he left that to start his own journey into clothing and videography work. And he combined those two things into one, formed the Strong Style brand, and now it's one of the most talked about brands in the world.
And before we wrap up here with JT too, you called out Rich Swann here. We can't leave without that.
Yeah.
You called out Rich Swann, and the fans here were like, salivating, like rubbing their hands, like, whoa, is there a possibility? Man, you and Rich Swann would tear the house down, man. How you
Before Rich had left us and he moved up to everything that he went to achieve, Rich Swann and I were kind of married to each other, and we were doing battle from literally from the West Coast to the East Coast, everywhere you could possibly wrestle. I've wrestled Rich Swann. I have never wrestled Rich Swann in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. Yet.
Yeah, so
Yet.
let's make history down the road.
And last one for me, Jeff, because if not, you never could let me get a word in edgewise. This guy always likes to take the spotlight for some reason.
I have short-term memory, and I don't want to lose my question.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
no, but with that being said, we talked about Rich Swann, and the possibilities are endless in that, something like that.
Sure.
When you call someone out, or somebody calls you out, for example, do you take that as a compliment? Is it the manner in which somebody calls you out? Do you take it to the fact that when that happens, and you said, "Listen, I want Rich Swann," or say he did the same thing to you, challenged you? Is it more like, "Wow, it's starting to fester. I can't wait. The excitement builds up of what could possibly be."
For sure. I definitely, I think maybe years back I would have called people out in a very immature way, and that's what would have led to me coming off disrespectful. And as I said, I've learned from my mistakes. Tonight, it was literally just a building filled with emotion, and Shane and I shared that main event moment together. I came out victorious, so I think that grants me the permission to talk on the microphone whenever I want, right?
Yeah,
so
I think so too.
I just happened to grab the mic and look over, and Rich Swann's clapping and smiling at me, and then I realized this is a moment where, not to be selfish, because I think it benefits him, it benefits me, it benefits the fans, it benefits the promotion that it could possibly happen at. But I think me and Rich Swann is something that is beneficial for pro wrestling. And I know that based off of the history that we have together, he's leaps and bounds ahead of where he was 4 years ago when we were sharing the ring together. And I'm a whole different animal than he remembers. So that's it excites me. So when something like that, it presents itself in any manner, I'm going to jump at it. I even said I might get in trouble for this, because you're not supposed to do those things, but you're feeling it, man. You're just feeling it.
It's the moment.
I live in moments, and that's something I learned through my injuries. I'm no longer waiting for opportunities. I'm no longer waiting for somebody to come up to me and be like, "JT, it's now your time to be the man." I am the man, and I've been the man, and I've been the man who's helped everybody else get to where they want to be, because that's how good I am. No more. Now it's time for me to get my just due. I'm the best. I'm the best I've always been the best. And if Rich Swann gets in the ring with me, I'm going to show Rich Swann that I'm the best.
And guys, make sure that is not cockiness. That is just confidence.
That's
That is confidence in his ability and confidence in what he can do.
I'm the least egotistical person in the world.
Trendsetter.
I can't say the same for Jeff.
This guy over here.
Trendsetter, I think it's a huge accomplishment. We've done the whole interview without JT giving us the death by elbow, so we'll cut this.
My elbow hurts.
Yeah,
Shane's got a hell of a
Plus,
chin.
he's right-handed, so that's for you, not me.
So we'll wrap it up.
That's the reason why I positioned myself in this spot.
Smart
I'm
move.
going to quit while I'm ahead. So JT, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me,
Great
man.
match as usual, and appreciate it. And you got our support.
Hey, let's make a deal. I'll kick Rich Swann's ass, and then we have another interview after that one.
Sounds good.
He's not allowed to be a part of it, though.
No, JT,
of course.
man.
Did you knock him out?
Thank you very much. Yeah, he was still
JT
sleeping.
Dunn, the High Spot Podcast. Thank you.